Is that 2 power stations or 1, or has it got 2 bits to it? It's a bit confusing around here. You've got quite a few. You've got, I think it might be Drax South and Drax North, and yeah, because the screens in there showed that only 2 and 5 they're actually generating power. What's amazing is that they're producing 2%, about 2% each of all the UK's power coming out of those chimneys. So, bearing in mind there's like 50 million people living here, 2%, 1 in 50, that's about 1 million people's power coming out of them. It's quite incredible. So another couple of million there. But what I also find interesting is we're talking about, well, I think in a bit previous video I talked about wind and I talked about well, coal or biomass. I think it's a bit of both. So right here, right now, that whole thing is producing, I think it's like 3 or 4% of the UK's power needs, and in that whole area from left to right, that whole thing is producing 8% of the UK's entire power needs. Whereas if we just go around here, that's only the beginning. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, nothing. Look, not a dicky bird, not even a dicky bird. You couldn't even, less than boil a kettle, you couldn't even put a slice of toast in a toaster off that. And you look at the area, it's massive. Way bigger in terms of spread, and that's one little wind farm doing nothing. Sweet Fanny Adams. So alright, yeah, of course there's no bloody CO2 being emitted because nothing's happening. It's already happened, the CO2 emissions in getting all this stuff here, transporting it, maintaining it, and there'll be more when we have to take it all down. But right here, right now, it's doing sweet Fanny Adams. Let's zoom out, you can see the whole spread of it. Look. And yet that is producing 8% of the UK's power. Right here, right now. And that's doing nothing. It's not just that one either. Over the road. Let's wait for it. Another wind farm doing nothing. So not only have we got that whole area behind me, we've got a whole other area there of nothing. So really, I can't think of a better visual illustration between the uselessness of wind power, the blight because it's doing nothing, it's useless, it's utterly useless, it's blight, versus something actually useful, doing good in the world. Right here, right now, providing 8% of the UK with its power through a mixture of coal and biomass. Okay, the jury's out on biomass, but in terms of blight and visual impact. Oh, and one other thing, you see all that smoke coming out those chimneys? Yep, that's vapour. That's like a great big kettle. So the way things are at the moment, that's not actually very dirty. And yeah, you might be thinking, my god, look at all that pollution. Well, you know, there's probably more pollution out of people's mouths when they talk about wind power than there is out of that. Obviously there are emissions, that's why we even have it, but most of that is just vapour. And anyway, 8% providing, you know, that's almost like, what, 4 million people? No, 16 million people. 16 million people versus not even 16 ants. Alright, point made. Hi, okay, it's like the song, I've got 21 seconds to go because I'm running out of film space. I've done so much today. I think it's obvious I got my sums totally around my neck there. I don't have the figures, do your research, but I can tell you here and now that Drax is currently producing electricity for millions of people, for wind farm 0. That's the difference, millions versus 0. As someone put it so eloquently. Does it really make sense? Chopping down trees, condensing or compressing the wood down to little pellets, shipping them across the Atlantic and then burning them for fuel. I don't know, it's weird. I'm I've got my own weird issues about this biomass thing and Drax, because I mean, I see my own reaction. It's working. It's definitely working. Unless they're actually lying about the stats, you can see there quantifiably exactly how it's contributing to the grid. And if the stats are to be believed, then it's actually working really, really well. And I think I was really blown away by the contrast with those useless wind turbines that weren't even moving, and yet even then took up more kind of space and had more visual pollution. And so the jury is out about biomass, really, for me. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion, but I've already seen a thesis and an antithesis. The thesis, well, again, depends on cognitive bias, but either it's really bad for the environment or it's really good. I don't know yet, but one thing I will say is it works. Alright, well, where's next? Next is Darlington.